They're known as the Masters of Glass. Davide Salvadore, Cesare Tofolo, Dante Marioni. Watch them create master works of art at the Pittsburgh Glass Center. Masters of Glass.
My name is Teresa Kress, and I'm an instructor here at the Pittsburgh Glass Center. We're in the Hodge Gallery, and this is the inaugural exhibition in the gallery, and it's called The River. The Hodge Gallery is actually just a small portion of the size of the Pittsburgh Glass Center. And it's located on Penn Avenue. We at the Pittsburgh Glass Center are so honored to be able to have Davide Salvadore here from Italy.
Facciamo questo pezzo qui. He's making two pieces.
Working in hot glass, teaching a week-long intensive class, and making the most phenomenal work and inspiring so many artists.
I think so. My name is John Volpaccio. I'm here from Boston, Massachusetts, assisting Davide Salvadore from Venice, Italy. Davide is a traditional maestro from the island of Murano, which is located in Venice, Italy. He apprenticed at an early age. He started blowing glass around age 10, and he's 49 now, so he's been working for 39 years almost every day at the furnace. So once you've done something that long and continuously, you know, your skills are amazing. He's the upper echelon of glassblowers worldwide, and he's considered a maestro around the world. He's worried that if he doesn't do this very fast, he runs the risk of them exploding, because these are fairly thick.
Un buon lavoro si riesce ad averlo solamente quando...
Before you start working, you can think about the steps and many other things, and after you're done working, you can think about those things. But while you're working, you just need to be in a certain rhythm with the people you're working with, and then the piece will turn out great. He's working on a series. His latest series is called The African Continent. So he chose the colors on the plaid grid pattern to represent the colors of Africa, and also the form is representative of things he's been thinking about towards Africa. The Venetian style has been around for 700 or 800 years. They've been noted for developing many new techniques and using cane and filigrana, where the lines are embedded in the glass to create decorative surfaces. And Davide has taken these traditional techniques and has modernized them and employed them in his work.
Comunque della mia famiglia lavorano tutti il vetro, compresi i miei.
He said his family, as far as he knows, goes back at least 3 or 4 generations working with glass. He can remember his grandfather working in glass, and he was a furnace builder. So Davide paid close attention to what he was doing as he was growing up, so he learned how to organize his studio, how to build furnaces, and then he also said his father and his aunts and uncles, including his mother, worked with glass. His children also work with him in his studio today. He's been to Taiwan to demonstrate. He's demonstrated in Spain and throughout Europe, but he's just started to come to the United States to do these types of demonstrations because he's very excited and interested in sharing his knowledge with students such as the ones here that are also interested in learning. So remember, all different colors in clear melt at different temperatures. So once it stops moving, it's still moving now.
My name is David Bourne, and I'm a student at the Pittsburgh Glass Center. In being an aspiring glass artist, having Davide here as well as other world-renowned glass artists, it opens my eyes. It allows me to look at creativity in a different way. It allows me to see what other people think and the way that they create. It will also open the eyes of the community as a whole to glass art.
My name is Drew Hine. My position is a shop technician. I basically help run the studio here.
Hello?
He's been teaching so much. His presence here is just, it's different than any glass artist I've ever experienced. The way he puts himself out there and the way he works, and he's a pretty amazing guy. He's almost magical in the way he makes things happen.
Non lo so, nella testa ho la musica.
He said he thinks he's hearing music in his head. He's not really thinking about anything specific. He's just listening to music in his mind, and he's following the steps that need to produce the piece.
Non riesco a pensare a nulla.
You can't think of anything else.
Il vetro non ti permette di pensare.
If you start thinking of anything else, the piece is gonna not turn out the way you want it to. So he's focusing on the piece, and he's thinking about music. Down, you go down.
Hot glass is extremely intense, it's extremely hot and very active. We have another type of glass working downstairs which is called Lampworking, and we have a teacher down there, Cesare Tofolo. He's an amazing, probably one of the best in the world. It's very interesting to see down there.
My name is Domenico Cavallero, and I'm here at the Pittsburgh Glass Center to translate and help Cesare communicate here in the class. Cesare is from Murano, Italy. Most of his work and the work that you saw today was mainly just his Venetian goblets and examples.
Durante la dimostrazione è meglio che gli studenti prestino attenzione.
The reason why he doesn't talk or doesn't want anybody to talk while he's working is because he'd rather the students concentrate on what he's doing and his techniques, to watch every little move.
Una buona classe, tutti giovani, quindi quando sono giovani più...
He's actually rather impressed because everyone is so young.
Io mostro sia tecniche più...
And he's showing more complicated forms and techniques, but they understand it.
I taught at Carnegie Mellon from '76 to 1989, so it's actually wonderful that we could have that program sort of transform into this building. I'm Kathleen Mulcahy, the co-founder of the Pittsburgh Glass Center with Ron, my husband. Worked as artistic director for a while, and now I'm permanent artist in residence and advisor.
So this is really exciting for us that you're here, and I'm an artist. I do part-time glass, but I'm also a painter and a sculptor, and now I'm on the board of directors of the center.
I hope you're comfortable here and it's fun to actually be in the studio upstairs. What's your reaction to that?
It's nice.
Good.
Different studio space. Yeah.
I taught for about 15 years at Bowling Green State University and Carnegie Mellon, and I left teaching in 1989. And as an artist, as an independent artist in the region, we made a choice to stay in Pittsburgh because we love this area.
So this is our fifth class.
Okay, fifth class. All right.
So we're not very good yet.
We've been working since 1969.
And we're not very good yet either.
Somewhere in 1992, Ron and I began to dream of a school, not necessarily just a school, but a public access glass facility that anyone could come to and work at, from novice to professional, and grew that idea up over the next 8 years. And somehow in 1998, we were able to get the go-ahead through great fundraising efforts to build this. We have high school students. We feel that that's a wonderful group to bring to this place and grow. These students are from Pittsburgh. They've grown up in this area. And these students are here today to work actually with Dante Marioni, who's a Seattle-based artist who's come in to work at the Glass Center.
Yeah.
That's a good
He's probably one of a handful of the best glass blowers in the world. It's really nice that students and the general public can see how much skill this actually takes.
Who here has blown glass before? Put your hand up, please. Everybody. Okay, so good. All right, great. We'll make a reticello. I'll show you how we do it, and we'll make the whole goblet. This is Janusz, by the way, everybody. He works with me at home. You saw him in the slides. He looked like Billy Idol in the pictures in the slideshow.
Janusz Pozniak is his assistant, and he's a master glassblower in his own right. But he's been assisting Dante for over 10 years, and they're a really fine-tuned team.
I originally came from England, moved to Seattle to continue glass blowing. Started working with Dante about 11 years ago, and now we kind of share the studio. I make my work there when he's not making his work.
When we do this stuff at home, if it's not raining, we can do it outside. And Janusz does this. He's way better at this than I am, so I just help him with this part.
Don't speed up.
Too hot. So this will have to cool off for like 5 minutes, maybe. And then we'll cut it up. You have to get ones that are all the same size to make the pattern, get the bubbles and stuff. The reticello is a very traditional Venetian technique. It's something that I never really applied myself to until kind of recently, because I could never think of something that I wanted to do with it. I did a few years back and started making some pieces, large pieces of glass that had a reticello as a featured part of the vessel. The wine glass is sort of the foundation of your skill building as a glass blower. Making the reticello involved, I thought it would be a good thing to demonstrate because it involved a very sort of fussy and exacting technique, which sort of kind of sums up my aesthetic in general as fussy and exacting, I guess, because I like to make things that are pretty tight in general. Yeah, but okay. It's just a huge amount of material. You got an enormous tuck. That's no good. One of the canes popped up and was a little bit higher. We got a little fold. One was up like that. And that will be no good. It's all about making it exactly right, all the way around. This is a very teamwork-oriented activity, blowing glass. You really cannot do it well by yourself. I'm more than twice as good having Anish in particular because we work together at home. We share a studio in Seattle. He works with me all the time, making everything that I make at this point.
As a team, they've probably blown thousands of pieces, which leads to just exquisite work after 10 or 11 years.
Makes it a lot easier if you don't have to be watching the other person doing their job when you're trying to focus on what you're doing. It works out really well the longer the team is together. Working as a team, the better things become and the easier it is to do them.
It's very fine-tuned dance. There's an intensity there, but they know every step that they have to do to accomplish that piece.
Yeah. It's a very craft-based medium. You sort of have to learn the language before you can write the poetry, if you will. And I've spent a lot of time working on that part of it, you know, on the glass blowing part of it. And the work that I make is sort of process driven, in my opinion. You know, I see things that occur during the process of making just about anything that can lead to a design for another series of works. The idea of form and proportion evolves with your skill. Hopefully it evolves as your skill evolves. I think in my case, the one has been faster than the other in that I've had it in my head to make things a particular way before I had the ability, and I've sort of always been working towards this mental picture that's in my head. See, when I go in there, I'm really concentrating on going in and not touching the sides, finding the bottom, and then blowing so that it blows from the bottom up. The improvement comes from having that idea always of what something ought to look like versus what I'm able to make it look like at the time. perfection has always seemed to be impeded by the notion of improvement for me. I always think about doing it better. And I don't mean just like faster and more, I mean just refining all the little details and the subtleties of individual objects. I was raised around the studio glass movement, which is an advantage not many other people have had, particularly people my age. Was fortunate to be around all the greats in the field, all the original big cheeses in the business, you know, and not just be around them in studios and whatnot, but a lot of them were family friends, and so it gave me a really solid base. And I still had to maintain the interest personally. Like, if I wasn't interested in it, none of it would have really mattered that much, but as it happens, I became very interested from a really early age. My professional background has been built around working with all these great people, you know, older and far more experienced people than myself.
You can see from Dante's expression how much intensity and how much concentration to do a piece of this scale and of this intricate working technique. It's just incredible. You have to realize that he's in front of a 1,500 degree glory hole and a 2,300 degree furnace, and the glass is molten, and he's basically using just hand tools to do this. So it takes just so much skill and energy.
I feel pretty good about the fact that we blew glass here for 3 days and we didn't drop anything on the floor. And I can't lie and say that that never happens, because it does. Not that frequently, but yeah, that's part of it. That's a big part of it. And I've dropped more pieces on the ground than anybody in this building. I can assure you of that over the years.
This is the point when you hold your breath, because anything can happen. And he's precisely brought that piece to a certain heat so he knows it won't slump in the annealer, but at the same time, is it ready to tap off?
Here's the one that we made last night. Yeah. And I forgot that it had 3 balls in the stem and not 2, so it's a little different. You can see that it has more black in it too. That one was pretty light in the amount of color, but it's the same thing. A pretty traditional sort of, my interpretation anyway, of a pretty traditional sort of piece, you know, Venetian thing.
The nice thing about him is that he is very forthcoming with advice and help. Really takes a lot of his time put aside towards educating others.
My name is Matt Shuchuk. I'm an architecture student at CMU. It was just amazing how good he was and how easy he made it look. And I don't know, it seems a lot harder when you do it by yourself. And I was just amazed how he gets everything so perfect.
In the beginning stage, there's still a big intimidation factor. You know, it's hot, it's scary, and difficult to do, and it's rare that you see people that are really comfortable until they've been doing it for a certain period of time.
My name is Lisa. I'm a student at Carnegie Mellon University, a design student. As a design student, a lot of the work I do is computer-based. It's very two-dimensional. It's print work, it's web work. I don't have a lot of opportunities to do some sort of three-dimensional, you know, get my hands in there and make something. So that's really what I value about this course.
Over the past year at the Pittsburgh Glass Center, we've brought in artists from all over the world: Australia, England, Germany.
We've gotten such great feedback from the artists that we've brought in internationally and from around this country. And we're so proud that they would come here, and they're telling everybody, all of their friends, that the Pittsburgh Glass Center is a great place to teach and learn.
In the future, it will really become a world-class destination for people to come in and work, either as a resident or teaching classes or renting the facility or whatever, because it's all here. This place is really comprehensive.
Have you been to that one? I've never been to the school, but I go.
Pittsburgh's going to become known as a real glass town as word spreads, which it will. You want to just keep it as tidy as can be. Like if you notice the moil on that.
Posso dire che questo studio
Absolutely stunning. Everything being brand new in comparison to other studios is probably one of the best.
Ho avuto una buona impressione di questa scuola.
He's very excited. He loves Pittsburgh so far. He thinks the school is in its beginning stages and it's going to only develop from here. I think a glass school such as the Pittsburgh Glass Center really crosses many boundaries. It will bring outside visitors to the city, such as myself. I've never been to Pittsburgh in my whole life, and now I have a reason to come here.